Morning to everybody. I'm Karim Azoum from the French National Competence Center, and with Marie, we are very happy to introduce this webinar on the Gray Scott School. You are going to have all the information about the school, the agenda of this amazing school of HPC of 2 weeks. 1 week dedicated to CPU, 1 week to GPU. In Annecy, in France, it's a town in the mountain in France with the teacher and a dedicated bootstrap day in one of our satellite sites. Everywhere in Europe, you are going to see that, and also online. You can choose your courses à la carte. So what is the plan and the goal? You are going to understand the full agenda, how to register to this school, how to become a satellite seat. Participate at this school permit you during 2 weeks to have a global view of languages, libraries, and to meet the ecosystem we have started to build with a dedicated Discord. But what is Discord? You are going to see that after. This community was built with the Gray Scott School 24. We trained more than 500 people from academia, but also from the industry. We had at this time in 24, 12 satellite seats, 9 in France, 1 in Belgium, 1 in Morocco, and 1 in Senegal, because it was at this time in 24 in French. And of course, 9 amazing and passionate experts as a teacher. The Gray Scott School 25 is now in English, courses and the teaching. And we deploy it in Europe in 25. So we need you to become a satellite site in your country for your ecosystem. This school began your school. Everything is shared with you. Everything is free of charge. And now you are going to see like a small video to introduce this school.
Do you sometimes feel limited by your resources or unsure how to maximize the potential of your HPC resources? Imagine a place where collaboration, creativity, and learning converge with high-performance computing. Welcome to Gray Scott School 2025, Europe's leading summer school for HPC. Taking place from June 23rd to July 4th. Over 2 weeks, students, academics, and industry professionals from across Europe will explore the frontiers of programming while building a vibrant community. Together, we'll discuss programming and optimization on heterogeneous architectures, highlighting their respective characteristics and limitations. You'll have a unique opportunity to explore generic optimization methods, as well as the latest technologies and languages for achieving optimal performance. The school is free and open to everyone, and you can participate in person in Annecy, France, with the teachers, at one of our satellite sites in Europe, or online via our live streaming. You can choose from an intensive program or a la carte courses to develop your skills at your own pace. With the first week dedicated on CPU and the second on GPU architectures, you will study computational accuracy, vectorization, parallelization, compilation, memory profiling, unit testing, and the various programming languages C++, Fortran, Rust, Python, and Julia. In addition, we will study the MPI, OpenSHMEM, OpenMP, TBB, EVE, Kiwaku, Sycl, Thirst, CUDA, OpenACC, Vulkan, NumPy, Number, CuPy, CUNumeric, JAX libraries, and Legit, as well as computation with PyTorch and TensorFlow, and the G++, Clang++, NVC++, NV Fortran, G Fortran, and DPC++ compilers. Throughout the course, you'll discover and use profiling tools such as Valgrind, Perf, Macau, Nsight, Malt, and NumaProf. Each session leads to a practical challenge, the simulation of Gray Scott's diffusion reaction, which tries to describe how a chemical reaction evolves over time. Simple to understand, but complex enough to push the limits of optimization. Thanks to our specially designed Docker containers, you'll have access to a complete working environment to follow courses and exercises on your laptop or supercalculator. Throughout the program, you'll be guided by a dozen expert instructors, leaders in the field of programming and HPC. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions and chat with them live on Discord, so you can tailor your learning to your needs. Join our growing community of over 500 users to find answers, exchange ideas, take on challenges together, and build bonds that will last well beyond the program. You can also join the Gray Scott School European network of satellite sites, not only to attend the courses, but why not become a satellite site yourself and host the school in your location? You just need to provide a room, a contact person, and access to computing resources. We'll provide courses, tools, and Docker containers for a seamless learning experience. Gray Scott School is free and open to all. It's your chance to master advanced programming and optimization, engage with a growing European HPC network, and push the boundaries of technology and training. You can kickstart your journey now by joining Gray Scott Thursdays, a free webinar series previewing the school's courses. Don't miss out. Register today to attend, whether in person in Annecy, France, or at one of our satellite sites in Europe, or online via our live streaming. Gray Scott School 2025, where HPC meets your potential.
Okay, so now I'm going to give the floor to Pierre Aubert, one of the teacher of the Gray Scott School. It's an research engineer at the LAPP. It's the Laboratory of Physical Particle of Annecy, CNRS, and it's going to develop everything about the school. So if you have some question, don't hesitate to ask him about everything. Thank you very much, Pierre. It's your turn.
So thank you, Karim, for the introduction. So I will present to you the Gray Scott Revolution 2025 school. So as Karim said, we had a previous edition in French in 2024 and another edition before that in 2023. So I will briefly go over these editions and give you also the actors of this school, how we did that with all the partners we had. Yeah, to start right away, I will start with the first actor of the school, the Reprise project. So Reprise is a transverse project in P3, so it's a particle and nuclear physics of CNRS in France. And the idea of this project is to put together engineers of different experiments, such as particle physics experiments, such as ATLAS, LHCb, stuff like that, and astrophysical experiments, and to put them together to say, okay, we all have the same problem to solve. So, for example, optimization problem in our case. So let's put them together and see what's going on. So in this project, everyone is following his favorite language, of course. So C++, Rust, Fortran, and Python. And since it's not limited to that, we also have tools that we use all the time to evaluate performances, for example, with Valgrind, Macao, and Perf, to evaluate precision with CUDA. And we also use containers, so Aptainers, Singularity, Docker, Podman, etc. And on top of that, we follow our favorite technology. Each one has a favorite technology. And the idea in this is to have something in CPU, for example, for Xdancer, HPX, and also for GPU with Cocos, Alpaca, Vulkan, NVIDIA CUDA, HPC SDK, or OpenCL, OpenSCC, OpenVINO. A lot of technology. So you have a bunch of example in the video Clem just show you. And in terms of architectures, we have CPU, GPU, and FPGAs. So it's a bit different topic in here. So we will focus only on CPU and GPU, any kind of CPU, any kind of GPU. And with all this knowledge, in 2023, we said to us, okay, we have enough material, let's try to make a school. And so it was a really tiny school, 30, 40 people, only in Nancy. And then TerraTech come into the game and said to us, okay, it's nice to have a 30 people school, but 200 it's better. So let's try. So TerraTech, as Karim said, is an association, and their goal is to do some valorization, dissemination of knowledge with schools, seminar, and interviews, basically on HPC, high performance computing stuff. And their goal is also to make a bridge between academy and industry world. And they also are the antenna, the French antenna of the EuroCC catalog of formation around many countries, so 34 countries in total. And this is the formation part of the EuroHPC project that I think you might know. So they are responsible for Chineka, for Jülich, for Surf, for all the big computing machine in Europe. And so they join us and say, okay, let's try to do a bit more publicity on that and see what's going on. And then I will present you the LAPP, so the Laboratory of Fancy of Particle Physics. So the main lecture are here. And the idea is to have many experiments, of course, in this laboratory. So gamma ray astronomy experiments, such as CTA or S, neutrino detection with Dune and with Topanemo, also gravitational waves with Virgo, with large survey of infrared of the sky, so in LSST, and particle physics with LHCb and Atlas. So a lot of physics here. And we also have theory department in this laboratory, so in this building here. And with this, let's try to summarize a bit what was the Gray Scott School 2024, so reloaded, because it's logical. So it was free, as Karim said, free high-performance computing school from the 1st of July to the 12th of July 2024. And we had many partners on this school. So first, EuroCC, Escape, and Reprise. So you already know EuroCC and Reprise, but I will briefly introduce Escape. So it's the idea is the same as Reprise, but in a larger scale. So it's at European scale. So the idea is to say, okay, we are developing an experiment. We need to solve this and this problem. And okay, we can keep them for us, but let's share it with other experiments so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. So it's always better to know how the wheel works, but not to have to reinvent it. And that's why the idea of Escape. So Escape is finished now, but we have other project to take the next step of it. So it's a CNRS school, but also with INRIA, because we stole one teacher from INRIA on this school. So it was really interesting also to work together on that. And we have a lot of laboratories, so L2IT, LAPP, EJC Lab, LUPM, and LPNHE. So some laboratory in CNRS around mainly nuclear physics and particle physics. And I will finish this slide with computing center we have at LAPP, which is must. So we run all these lectures locally on must. And speaking about lectures and example, let's talk about example. So let's try to start first with simple example. So of course, it's a high-performance computing lecture, high-performance computing school. So we'll start with classical example, just to step up. So first, Adama product, because we'll see I love Adama product. Reduction, dot product, or matrix product. So they are really interesting to look at, to feel a bit what's going on in a CPU or in a GPU. And of course, it's better to reuse existing software, such as the math kernel library of Intel, or Eigen, or Armadillo, Eve, or NumPy and Numba. But the idea here is to show you how do the libraries these libraries could reach this kind of performances, and what are the tricks that they use behind the hood. Of course, it's better to use them, but in some cases it's not possible. So it's important to have the knowledge of what's going on, what is the secret ingredient of this optimization. And sometimes it's not enough. So we want to go deeper. We have a more complex problem. And for that, we have another example, which is the Gray Scott reaction. So give it its name to the school. That's why it's a Gray Scott school. So you can see that as a chemistry game of life. So the idea is to have two species, so U and V. And when you have enough V around U, V transforms U in V. So it's the same case in the game of life when you have 3 white cells, which surrounds black cells, and the black cells become white. It's the same idea, but it's worked with real chemicals. And so it's a 2 coupled differential equation problem. So really simple. And the idea of these equations is to have a really easy to understand problem, but with a lot of difficulty for the compiler. So the compiler has really good difficulty to optimize it well. So we have to give it some hint. We have to activate some optimization or not, depending on the compiler, depending on the architecture. So it's really interesting to see that, to try to feel what's going on. And we also have a possibility of high speed up. So it's really, really important also to, in a teaching point of view, to feel a bit, okay, I took this parameter, I have this speed up, took this parameter, I have this speed up. So the idea is to have to be able to go back and forth and to improvise a bit the optimization and see what's going on. So we had also a lot of languages and technologies. So as we said before, in 2024, we had C++, Fortran, Rust, and Python. So the first week was dedicated to CPU, including the NUMA problem, so non-uniform memory access. That's the case when you have, for example, 2 CPUs on the same blade server, and if you have memory on one CPU and you access the memory on the other CPU, you have a penalty, and you have to deal with that when you have many cores. So it's important to take that account. And if you do multi-threaded with NUMA, it's important to know this kind of stuff. So of course we have C++ and CPU with threading building block from Intel, Sycl, and Eve. Also TBB for Fortran, Rust, and NumPy and Numba for Python. So that was for the first week. And for the second week, we have the GPU part of this school. So again, we have Sycl with ICPX, so the new DPC++, if you want. And we also had CUDA and Thrust from NVIDIA, the HPC SDK to compute directly C++ on GPU, and the same for Fortran also, with a bit of OpenACC also. Vulkan with Rust, which is really interesting because it shows you at which point CUDA is a really high-level programming language. So Vulkan will show you all the weird detail of a CPU, of a GPU, all the memory stuff. It's really interesting to see how deep you can go on a GPU. And for Python, we presented QNumerics, Legate, and also PyTorch and JAX, because they are well known for machine learning stuff, but they are, after all, computing frameworks. So it's important to know how to use them. It's quite nice to elevate ourselves from the hardware. If you can, it's always good to open doors in that case. So we also presented a lot of tools, because as engineer, we have to get some information when somebody calls us and say, okay, can you optimize this kind of program on this simulation? So of tools, we had performance tools. So profilers such as Valgrind, PerfMacao, and Nsight. Other not well-known profilers, memory profiler, for example, Malt and NumaProf. So the idea is to pick where was this allocation, how many bytes do I allocate, for what reason, for what time, when I do the delete, maybe I forgot, maybe not. It's important to have all this information, and also for NUMA purpose. We also have compilers. So our favorite compilers with LLVM, Clang, Clang++, and Flang, and also GNU compiler, so GCC, G++, and G-Fortran. From the industry, we had NVC++ and NV-Fortran for NVIDIA, and ECPX and DPC++ for Intel, and also precision evaluation with CUDA, and classical programs such as Git, GitLab, and CMake to compile all the example when it's necessary. So with that, we had more complexity to that with the multi-site diffusion. So the idea is to have the main site, which is ANSI. So here we had 40 people for last year, so included 9 teachers. So we restream everything live on YouTube, and we manage the question with Discord, and we had an extra day of Bootstrap. So the idea is people, the attendees of the school could come with their problem, and the last day is dedicated to them. So we are here to help them solve their problem. So whatever the topic could be, optimization, CPU, GPU, or software engineering, really a lot of stuff. And then since TerraTech said, okay, 40 people is not enough, we have full diffusion on satellite sites. So here we had 12 satellite sites. So Toulouse, Marseille, Rouen, Reims, Compiègne, Paris, and Sofia Antipolis. It was in France, so some cities in French, and also Belgium, Morocco, and Senegal. So we were on 4 countries. It was really interesting, and I want to thank them also for the trust, because it was not an easy task to manage everything. So really, we thank to them for their trust and to have participated to this school. One important point here is when you are a satellite site, it's a good point for you to make some publicity about your computing center in your region, to say, okay, we exist, we can help you, we have a formation for you here in a summer school. And the point is, for example, for Toulouse, it was really nice to see that L2IT, CalMIPS, Arfact, Onera, and Cutis, they were not really working together at this point, but now they know each other, and they could build some stuff together now. And the really point, really big point of the 2025 edition is really to do the same, but at European scale. So for us, we will be really proud of that if it's working also at this scale. So how can you follow lectures? Because it's important to ask this question. So last year, of course, you can use a laptop to start. So you have all the lectures on YouTube, all the lectures on the web in general. So every teacher has its own website, and you can follow all the lecture with that. For the example, you can install everything in bare metal if you want, or you can use containers. So compatible with Aptainer, Singularity, Docker, and Podman, and other, but mainly for computing center. So for people which attend the school in Annecy, we had Docker and Aptainer. So Aptainer for HT Condor, it's a scheduler of a job scheduler. And we also have Jupyter Hub platform, which is working on Kubernetes, but you can also use Docker Swarm for this kind of stuff. So you have a nice web interface, and you can play the lecture in different machines. So if you don't have the right architecture, or you don't have a GPU in your laptop, you can use this kind of machine for that. Or simple thing, you don't have NUMA on your laptop, so you can jump on a server to emulate that and to see what's going on with NUMA. And we also give all these containers to all the satellite sites, and they can use whatever they want. So mainly Aptainer, because we have a lot of Slurm in this computing center, but you can use as well Jupyter, you can use as well HT Condor, Kubernetes, as you want. Normally everything is compatible. So it's a nice point for that. We bring you the containers. So then the limitation we had last year is we were concentrated on Intel and AMD CPUs and NVIDIA and AMD GPUs. So for ARM user, for example, it was a bit difficult, so they had to jump on a different server to be able to follow the lecture. I will try to do better this year, of course, but it was one limitation we had last year. So I want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this school, because we had sponsor. So CodeRecons with the computing center, they provide some solutions, some teaching also solution for high performance computing stuff. So we were really glad to have them on school. Intel, of course, you already know, and Eviden for Atos part. And it was not only sponsoring with money, it was also sponsoring with computing center access. So for example, CodeRecons give access to their machines for the school, and give a free trial of one year for the 51st people who register on the school. And Eviden also give us 2 engineers, so one for the LAPP, for the bootstrap part, we had in Nancy, and one in Toulouse also for another bootstrap. So we had 2 bootstrap at this summer school last year. So many thanks for them. It was really, really nice to work with them, and we hope we'll work as well with them for the next edition, so for 2025. So let's summarize a bit what was 2024 for this school. So we had 9 teachers, 18 webinars, or almost weekly from January to June, as we will have this edition. So because sometimes we have day out or stuff like that, but roughly it's a weekly webinar. 3 connection mode, 12 satellite sites over 4 countries, so France, Belgium, Morocco, and Senegal. 642 attendees, so about 400 people following the school on YouTube, 200 people following the school on Discord, and they created 530 Discord account for the occasion. So many thanks also to them to play this game, because it was not was not guaranteed, but it was a success also. So we have for now 50 containers, so including the lectures inside and all the examples. So they are compatible with Docker, Aptenor, Podman, Kubernetes, and OpenStack. So normally it should be okay for everyone. But for now, as I say, is only for Intel and AMD, and a bit of NVIDIA, of course, for the GPU. You can follow the lectures on laptop, on a remote server, with HTConder, with Slurm, with any kind of scheduler you want. Normally everything is nice. The point is, here we have 60 hours of useful videos, so without the coffee break, with the editing, after the editing, so 127 gigabytes of video, so with everything. So it's in French, of course, but if you want to have an idea of what's going on in this school, you can have a look. So we have 1 bootstrap day, as I explained before, in Nancy and in Toulouse. So the idea is people come to see us, and we try to solve their problem. So it was really, really important, and really this year, everyone, last year, everyone has something to do. Every teacher has something to do. So it was really, really nice. And we had also 1 extra day in Nancy, so to had extra hands-on on computing stuff, on software engineering stuff, and a discussion. So the idea is to have all the teacher on the stage, and you ask your question to the teacher, and we do our best to answer them. So it was a success. And then we had also a spin-off of the Rust lectures in Slovakia, which was really nice in last December. So the idea was to have 3 half days of Rust lecture, to have CPU, GPU, computing Rust lecture, and it was really a success. I see Adrien in the chat, so normally it was really nice. So you can ask questions if you want about that at the end of this presentation. And so let's talk about the next school. So it will be for the 23rd of June to the 4th of July 2025. And you may ask, okay, but what's new in 2025? So first, the obvious thing is it's for English speakers, as you may you may understand right now. So we still have 18 webinars. We call them the Gray Scott Thrusdays. So it will be at 10 o'clock every Thursday, practically every Thursday. If it's not, it's just because we have a day out in France. And the one for the GTC because I want to sleep, so please let me sleep. But also for the number of people we will have in ANSI, we will try to have 40, 50 people. So 10 or 20 more than we had previously. So it's not really precise, but normally should be quite the good number here. For now, we try to have about 15 countries involved in this school. So if you are not involved yet, feel free to ask. It's not a problem, but we would like to try to not have too many. But if you want, it's fine. If you're interesting, of course, it's okay. So as I said before, Escape is ending. So we have Oscar and Evers, which are new partner to replace the Escape part of the school. We also want to address new topics. So new advanced algorithm that we can use for the Gray Scott reaction. We really want to show you how we can improve that. Also, we will try to have ARM architectures in the school. So definitely we want to do some test bench on ARM server. And we will try also to provide you the ARM version of all the container we will provide for the school. So as you might imagine, it will take some time because we have 50 containers. So if we convert them all, we will have 100 containers at the end of this school. So take some time, but we will try to do it because it's really important. And also we will talk about parallelization in a bigger way. So with OpenMPI, with OpenSHMEM, with HPX, and also we will talk about Julia as we saw in the video. So to summarize a bit, so here are some interesting links. So we will have this presentation online in maybe this afternoon on tomorrow morning. So if you want to pick up the link and see what's going on. So this school is for really student, researcher, engineer, developer. It's really for everyone. Normally, if you are a beginner, if you are an expert, if you just want to have a large overview of what is possible, this school is made for you. And here you have the link for the main link of the school on the CCFR site, the timetable and the timetable of the webinar. So if you allow me, maybe we have time. Yeah, we have a bit of time. So let me show you this site. So here you have Gray Scott School 2025 with what we will say. So what we will board in terms of computing. So you have also CuPy, PyCUDA, stuff like that. But I don't want to go too much into detail. You will have normally plenty of technology you want. So normally it will be nice for you. And then you can register. You can get the satellite site and send a mail to Karim if you want to be involved in this school. And you have all the Thursdays school here. So if you click that, you end up here. So this is the Gray Scott Revolution website. So let's first try with all this webinar stuff. So as you see, we have lots of webinars. So the first one here, so you attend here. Next week it will be about unit testing. So not the technical part, but really the philosophy behind it, how it can help your application, how you can better design your application, the human implication also with this. So do not talk about that often, but it's important to have that. And then we start with the classical approach. So CPU architectures with Adrien, computing precision with Vincent, memory allocation. So as I told you, Malta and NubaProf with Sébastien, also with Sébastien here. Modern C++ computing, so it was with me. Rust language with Adrien. GPU architectures with me. Sycl with David. Fortran with Vincent. Modern C++ with me. Come on. Yeah. Eve with Joel, which I stole from LRI, and CodeRecons also. That's why CodeRecons is a partner. Python with Alice and Nabil and Jean-Marc. Rust also for CPU and GPU with Adrien, Python with Alice and Jean-Marc, but for the GPU part. And then a feedback of the GTC 2025. Every year I do a feedback of the GTC, so it was the occasion here. And finally, CUDA to Sycl translation, because it's possible, which will be with Joel. So all the team is involved. So you will have the time to get used to the teacher, to know them, to ask them some question, to see what we will talk about in the lecture. Of course, it will be not only this kind of topic. We have much more topic in the lecture, but in the lecture and in the school. But normally, it's a good starting point for that. And then we can go to the summer school here. So the first week you have CPU stuff. So we start only the afternoon. So if you come from if you have a long trip, you can travel here, and then we start at 2 o'clock here, 2 p.m. with a welcome with a classical approach. The idea of this school is to have mainly for the a la carte part 1 day per technology or per language in this case, and at the end of all day, practically, you have a seminar about one topic of the school. So it could be unit test, it could be profiling, it could be memory profiling, computation with precision, the impact of the system on the application performances. So how your OS does its allocation, can change your performances, stuff like that. Here, it's only for people who attend the school in Annecy. So we have the extra day talk about before it was this extra day. And it was really interesting, in fact, last year. Really, thanks to all people all your questions was really, really nice. And the second week here, so with a bit of Kiwaku here, so a bit of C++, a bit of CPU here, but mainly GPU. And so the same for C++, and then Fortran and Sycl and Rust and Python, and then the Bootstrap at the end of the school. And a little story about a qubit square root optimization. So if you are curious, and Julia here for the webinar of Julia. And I think it's all. So I think that's it for me. So thanks for your attention. And if you have some question, feel free to type your question in the chat, and we will, I think Karim maybe or Mary will read the question, and we can start the question from that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pierre. Now we are looking for questions. So if you have a question, you can ask us about everything. Just to clarify, we have 18 webinars from now until June, until the beginning of the school. It's free of charges. It's in English, so you are going to have a lot of skills inside with the teacher. And of course, we have the school during the 2 weeks. If you want to register, you can register on a satellite site. You can register also online if you want, for example, to choose the courses because you don't have time to have everything, but you can also join us in ANSI. So it's really open. If you want to become a satellite site and offer to your ecosystem this school is going to become your school. So it's totally open, free of charges. We give you everything. So we can talk about.
Now, maybe one precision I forgot about the webinar. They are not just trailers of the main lectures. Yeah, the idea is to have another point of view about what we will do in the school, but with the same information. So it's not a trailer. It's really a real webinar that you can take apart from the school without problem. So yeah.
I'm going to answer to the question of Dimitri because it's more for me. Which are the seats where the school will be held this year? So in France, we hope all the satellite seats in 24 are going to be open in 25. So we are working on it because we are in January and the school is in June, so we have time. Moreover, we are looking for more satellite sites in France. And in Europe, it's the beginning of the discussion. So we are talking with all the NCC to see if some NCC are interested or not. But for sure, we are going to have a satellite site in Netherlands, in Romania, in Spain, in Portugal, perhaps in Italy. So depend on the people, depend on the National Competence Center. It can depend also on the Center of Excellence. So depend on you if you want to become a satellite or not. Depend on if there is a lot of people on a country who want to assist to this school. So if people, for example, in Slovakia want to assist to this school, we can talk with NCC Slovakia to open a satellite site. So for now, we don't have a global list of all the satellite sites, but we hope a lot of countries are going to become a satellite, and I'm still in the progress to discuss with a lot of people about this.
Do we receive support in the infrastructure access directly from the main organizer? Yeah, you normally, yes. You should provide local support. Yeah, it's better also to have local support, maybe 1-2 people to receive attendees and to help them with your infrastructure, because you can use whatever solution you want to connect people to the lectures. So it's up to you to deal with that. We can help you, of course, if you need assistance for the containers or to test them in advance. Of course, it's not a problem. But yeah, 1-2 person to get people to manage them and to help them if they have problem to connect or stuff like that. It's fine. You can also have, maybe if you have specialists of one or another topic, not on everything, because nobody can be an expert on everything, but 1 or 2 specialists, if they can join at this moment, it could be really nice. Anytime if you have a question during the school, you can ask it on Discord, and we will answer them directly in the chat, or we can have in the stream for everyone. So no problem with that. It's explicit that satellite site will host webinars before the school as well. Normally webinar, we will record them and then diffuse them after that. I don't think it's scheduled like this. Maybe for the next edition. But now the plan is just as here. So we do our webinar live, and then we do the YouTube version for example, for tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Normally you should have this recording ready. But yeah, you can, if you want, you can join one webinar with from your satellite site to see what's going on, if it's nice, if everything working. Normally, no problem with that. So Jose, I have a question about accommodation. I think it's implicit that we must seek them personally, right? So it's possible to attend only the subset of the lecture. Are the lecture enough self-contained? Yeah. Yeah, you can follow the lecture à la carte if you want. The point is, it's a general school. So of course, if you follow only one lecture, you will miss everything and all the link to the rest of the lecture, because of course, when I give the C++ lecture and I have a point about precision, it's the job of Vincent with the precision lecture to give more details about that, not me, because I don't have so much time for that. So you can see the lecture like this. If you want to follow one lecture or one specific topic, it's up to you, no problem. But yeah, you will pass through not so many detail, but it could be sufficient for you. So no problem with that. The format with really one language per day, it's normally should help if you want to follow one specific lecture without problem.
I can give some more explanation. If you want to come in Annecy in France, you are going to have intensive courses for the 2 weeks. The goal is you come with the teacher to see everything during 2 weeks, and you bring your code and you bring your trouble, and the last day of the 2 weeks you are going to talk with the teacher and to see some how to solve your trouble. You are going to discuss and to see perhaps the way how you can begin to solve your trouble. This is the way why people come in Annecy with the teacher to have intensive courses. The second way is you go to a satellite site because you have the satellite site is going to give you access to their HPC resources. So you are going to use supercomputer to make the exercise. And we hope on the satellite site, you are going, there is going to have some experts to support you on the to make the exercise. So this is the way why to go to a satellite site, because is in your country, because you are going to have people talking your languages. Of course, you have live streaming. Of course, you can ask all the question on Discord and all the teacher is going to answer the question. But you have people, you are going also to see other people coming from other part of your country. And this is something like really interesting for your ecosystem. And the last part, but depend. Some seed satellite agree to say you can choose courses and come when you want. Some of the seed satellite are going to say no. If you come, you need to come at least 1 week. So they are going to choose the rules, because this school is going to become the school of the seed satellite. So they are going to impose some rules for you to say à la carte, is it possible? Because we are flexible. Because we are not flexible, perhaps they are going to say just 1 week, you can choose 1 week CPU, 1 week GPU, or they are going to say no, if you come, it's intensive, the same as ANSI. So depend also if they have skills and experts, they are going also to provide you support and also perhaps to make a bootstrap day. Depend on the seed satellite. And the last way to assist to this school is only online. We give you everything, exercise, courses, Discord to ask question. You have everything, but you are going to make the exercise on your computer. So sometimes you have 1 CPU, perhaps more, and most of the time you have 1 GPU. So sometimes to make a HPC exercise, it's more difficult, but on this way, you can choose the courses you want to assist. So it's totally different. This is the free way to participate. And I think I answer to Bozidara question. So we to become a seed satellite, first you have to propose a room and access to HPC resources. This is the first thing. And want people to give access to your HPC resources. Of course, all the people need to register first. We are going to make all the registration, and the people are going to choose the seed satellite, and we are going to give you the list. After that, you have the list of the people registered in your seed satellite, and you can, of course, talk with them after to prepare the venue, etc. And for us, we think is it really important to have at least one teacher inside, because sometimes the courses at the beginning is simple, but at the end of the courses, it can be a little complex. So if you have an expert on the room, it's better because he can talk with the local languages to the student and explain or support them. This is the way, but we do everything for free. If you are from a national competence center, you have budget to make training. So the expert is, we hope the expert is coming from the National Competence Center, and you can charge this guy into your project. So that's the deal. Everything can be is going to share with you free of charges, of course. Pierre, you have one
is
question?
asking, do you have another question?
About the name. About
yeah,
the name.
yeah, I would like to answer this question because
I know.
Dozan asked, how did you come up with the school name? Yeah, it was two things, in fact. So Gray Scott Revolution, because it's the next step of Gray Scott Reloaded, and Gray Scott Reloaded because it was the second edition compared to the very first one. And since we changed a lot of stuff and we adapt everything, it was really nice name for that. And maybe the main point, because here it's just a joke, right? But it's not only a joke, because in the school, the idea is to have no authority argument. We demonstrate everything we present to you. So, because for sure, everything we present to you in 5 years or in 10 years, it will be trash. But the idea is to give you the opportunity to have all the benchmark, all the big picture about how can I evaluate performances. I am really measuring that. I think I'm measuring how it's possible to have this kind of trick with the compiler or with the CPU or with the GPU or with this kind of architecture or with this kind of cache. So the idea is to demonstrate everything. And so, of course, Matrix was a good example for that. Okay, so yeah, as Marie said, we deliver a certificate to say, okay, you attend this school from this date to this date, or this lecture, or this particular course. So that's it. Guzman said, can you give us the Discord channel? Oh, it's only for the summer school. Normally should have some activities on it before the summer school, right, Marie?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We provided the link on the chat. You can join our community on Discord right now. For your information, as it was used in the past edition, it's in French, but you have all the historic information of the past edition in French, but we are going English right now to welcome everyone, of course, and you can start asking some questions and have the links to the webinars too on this Discord channel. So welcome. And
if I remember well, you should have the Discord here, also in the main page, on the bottom of the main page, if you want to have a look. So later, after this session.
There was a question about Dimitar, if it's also possible to do an internship if he come in France. He want to have some more information. Is it possible to combine this with a master thesis in HPC? I want to say depend on your master school if he allow you to do that, but you have to take care because, for example, in France, is it possible for the people in France? But it's there is a regulation between the courses allowed to be the number of hour of the courses allowed to be charged in your master activities. So, for example, in the Gray Scott School, you have more than 60 hours. Probably not all are going to be taking into account for a student during this thesis. So perhaps they depend on the rule. I don't have all the rule, but you have to ask them about that. The only thing we can do is that we are going to give to all the people, of course, if they if we have the name of the people on Discord, and if they open the Discord during the school, we are going to give you like a certificate to say, yes, you have attended to this and this and this school, and it's with the hour of the school, and we give you like at the end like a list of the courses you have attended and the total of the hours. That's all. After that, that's your problem to make it available to your master school.
Maybe
But
another question for you, Dimitar said, which are the sites where the school will be held this year?
Yeah, Adrien answer.
Yeah,
I
but
think
you could do it for people remotely
yeah.
on YouTube.
It's for now we don't have the global list of all the site satellite. For sure, you are going to have one in Belgium. For sure, you are going to have perhaps one or two or three in Netherlands. For sure, you are going to have one in Spain, in Portugal, and perhaps in Italy. After, for all the other country, is it possible? Is it free? But depend on the demand. I'm now just begun to discuss with all the NCC, but if people from each country have a need, if you send me an email and you explain to me, hey, I'm from Hungary, for example, and we are 10 people, we want to assist to the school, I can discuss with the NCC from your country to found and to create a satellite site. So we just start the discussion to make it available. I hope to make it available everywhere in Europe, but it depends. We are just in January, so we have time to do that, but depend on you also.
Yeah, of course, if you really want to have a satellite site on your country, you can ask to the computing center or make computing center to talk with us to make sure that everything is working. Yeah, we are not closing the door for some actors. No, definitely not.
We are totally open. We can do everything. It's free of charges. We give you everything. So it's for me a huge opportunity to make this school an amazing European school. This is what I have in mind, but depend, of course, on you.
Maybe another question for you, Karim, from Jean-Yves, I presume. We are already connected to the TGCC CCRT. Is it a satellite site?
No,
Not yet?
Is not. Is not. No. Is not, and is not going to become a satellite site. I just explain why. Because TGCC and CCRT is not like a small supercomputer to make a school. It's the biggest machine you can find in France, perhaps in Europe. So they are not going to be a satellite site because about the security to enter in TGCC, it's just so complex, and it's not for making some training like this. But in France, we have La Maison de la Simulation, and last year's La Maison de la Simulation permits to people in Paris to have access to HPC resources with CPU and GPU. And we hope in this years there are going to be a seed satellite. It's more appropriate than TGCC and CCRT because it's I work in TGCC and TCRT, but it's something like you know, the biggest machine you can find. So it's not for us. It's not the goal.
Okay, and same question with Onyxia. Do you know if they plan to be a satellite site or?
I don't know, but
Okay,
if
so maybe we have to ask
yeah,
them.
yeah, if you need, just send me an email and say perhaps you can make some connection with Onyxia. If we know some people are interested to do that, just send me an email and we are going to see how we can support you to create satellite site in your country.
Okay, yeah, there is a question also for Jose. Apparently, there is no satellite site in Italy for now, but we will have one, hopefully.
I hope.
Yeah.
Because in Barcelona, for example, but I'm really close to NCC Spain. We talk a lot
But in
with.
Italy, not in Spain. I mean.
Sorry, because I see the question about Spain
But
in
there is
Barcelona.
Cineca, there is Leonardo. Normally,
But
should be okay to have a satellite
yeah.
site.
Of course, and I'm really close also to Italy, so to the National Competence Center in Italy. So with Cineca, and I think it's not going to be really complex to make a satellite with them. But of course, if you want to introduce a lot of, for example, if you are more than one people, perhaps you think to friend or to collaborators, and you want to create it in Italia, just send me an email and I can ask Cineca, for example, to say, hey, we have you have an opportunity to create some to become a satellite. We have some people interested, and so we can start the discussion. For now, as you know, we just began, so it's complex to give you a list now, but I hope in 2 or 3 months we are going to have everything.
Okay, maybe to give you some precision also, because I see the answer of Adrien. So in Annecy, we have a not really an hotel, but a kind of hotel when you can stay near the laboratory, which is Jean 23, the residence Jean 23, and for now they have 60 rooms available for this summer. We will start the registration normally in few weeks, in a couple of weeks. And the idea is they cannot keep the room forever, of course. So if you really want to went in Nancy to go in Nancy for the school, be sure that you register also with an hotel. So as Karim said, the registration is free, but we want to be sure that you want to come. So we will validate your registration in Annecy if you said to us, okay, I booked an hotel, so I will come. So that's the deal, basically, because we have to prepare things from our side also. Especially if you want to have not so expensive hotel, because Annecy is quite expensive, but not this residence. Of course, we will have you will have all the information, but just in case.
I see it. So for Italy and Spain, just send me an email and we will contact the National Competence Center of your country to see how it is possible to open something in your country. I think it's not going to be a problem because the goal of the National Competence Center is to support, you know, the university, but also the industry to have access to HPC resources and to have training on HPC. So for them, it's something like an opportunity to create a satellite site. So for me, it's not a really big problem. But if you can send me an email, I can make like he can also help me to start the discussion with the National Competence Center.
Just to answer the question of Zachary, of course, we will talk about OpenMPI and OpenMP. I passed quite quick on this topic, but yes, we will we'll have lectures about that, an advanced lecture about that also. Oh yeah, from Jean-Yves, is it necessary to have a background in physics or in chemistry, for example, to attend the summer school? Definitely not. The idea is to have a simple example. Last year, we had people from biology, from particle physics, for chemistry, from data analysis in general. So definitely not. You can attend the school. It's a high performance computing school. It's not a chemistry school, so no problem with that.
Yeah, but it's a really good question.
It's a really good question.
Yeah,
But don't be afraid. It's really simple differential equation, so no problem at all.
Teachers are going to take time at the beginning. Perhaps we are going to create something just to explain the physical problem you are going to solve.
The differential equation, how we discretize the differential equation, how we solve this, just to explain the context. But it's not the main part of the school, just to make you understand. But the point is really the computing behind it.
We have also a really good question from Guzman. So I think he want to know how he is going to justify his coming, because he's not going to take an hotel, but he's going to go to visit some friends. So it's a particular case.
It's a particular case, but it's fine.
It's fine for us. It's fine. So just send us a mail after your registration, and we are going to solve your trouble. But it's okay for us. It's not a problem.
Yeah, we just want to be sure that you will come, because we have to reserve all the food, all the everything. So it's important.
Something we don't explain, but it's linked to that. Why we have some sponsor. The goal of the sponsor is only to pay, for example, food and to pay the travel of the teacher, but to pay also food for all the people which are going to be in the school in Annecy. So this is something really cool. And for example, if you are going to be a set satellite, for example, in Italy, and if you, because this school is going to be your school, if you want to do the same, you can search some sponsor in your country. We are going to add this sponsor with the global picture of the school, but you can do the same. But something really important is that the money is not for the organizer. The money is just to pay food or travel. It's just about that. But it's something.
Yes, it has to stay a free school.
There is a question about Zachary. Marie is going to give you the link to register now, of course. Of course, if you have question coming after this meeting, don't hesitate to send us a mail. You have access to my email, to the email of Marie, of course, also to Pierre, but because we work on the organization, it's more simple if you send us a mail to Karim or Marie, and we are going to answer you everything. So don't hesitate. So no more questions.
So for Zachary, so when can I register to ANSI? I think we will open the registration in a couple of weeks normally.
You can have you can make a pre-registration. Marie send you all information. You perhaps Pierre, you can show how is it possible to do it? If you click to all information,
Yes.
you open the page and you have,
To
I would like to
pre-register?
register. Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is
Yeah.
something like
So
you have some few
you have a
questions.
form and then
Yeah,
you say
it's
pre-register.
like a pre-registration. We have your name, your email, and we send you everything after all the information coming, etc. So it's better to pre-register. I think the registration is coming to open middle of February, something like this.
Or a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If you pre-register here, you will receive all the information on time, and we'll send you everything that you need to register on ANSI, but also the information for the satellite sites later.
Yes, of course. After the end of the webinar, we are going to send an email to say thank you for coming to this webinar, and in this mail, you are going to have all the link. Yes, of course. So if there is no more question, we are going to close this first webinar of the Gray Scott School. Thank you very much to everybody. Don't hesitate to share the video of the Gray Scott School. Don't hesitate to talk with the people inside your country. Don't hesitate to create something in your country and to talk about a satellite site. And after, just send us an email and we are going to see how we can create this satellite site. And don't forget, next Thursday, it's the beginning of a really huge series of technical webinar around HPC dedicated to CPU and GPU. So you can enjoy all this webinar. All these webinars are provided by the teacher of the Gray Scott School. So it is the way to discover also the teachers. Of course, at the beginning, we make a small introduction about the school and the registration and the satellite. If we have new information about the satellite site, so that's the way. Pierre, thank you very much for your presentation.
Thanks you all for coming. So don't miss the next webinar from Sebastian. You will see it will be really great.
Yeah, we are going to make the information on the mail we are going to send after the webinar. Thanks also to Adrien for the answer on the chat. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and see you next Thursday for the first Gray Scott School webinar. Thank you very much.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.